after another, almost.
And grandchildren?
I have one daughter that's got four.
So you have four.
Yeah, but I got two boys not married.
Okay.
Both of the boys are not married, and the other one's got two dogs. They're more precious than kids.
When did you currently live in Whittier? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. When did you first land in?
Whittier?
Yeah.
Oh, 67, I think it was. Yeah, about 67. We were in LA for 4 or 5 years after we got married.
Oh, what part of LA, Jack?
Crenshaw.
Uh-huh. And why did you move out to Whittier?
Well, we figured it's about time we move out of there. You know, it's not a very good area getting to be, you know.
Okay, so you went out there in 1967. So essentially your children all grew up in the Whittier area. Okay. All right. When did you join the East San Gabriel Valley Japanese Community Center?
Whew, that's a good question. When did I join? Huh. Let's see. I think we joined when they first built this gym. I think this was built when gee, I forgot. I wrote it on that. There's a tire out there with a basketball for volleyball.
Oh, yeah.
I made that thing so we could put it in there, and we, you know, and I guess I got that pipe that you could take out, you know.
All right.
I wrote it on there. I forgot what year it was.
Okay.
It's a long time ago. That's what I mean. See, my memory's not good.
No, that's okay.
But that's about time when I joined, I
Okay,
guess.
when the gym was built.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the second phase of the big construction.
Yeah.
Okay. So why did you join?
Well, the basketball program stuff for my kids. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they all went to
Sabres.
Sabres.
Yeah. So they all of your kids went through Sabres?
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure it was the Sabres.
Yeah.
Let's see. God, I forgot if they were the Sabres or not. But they played in the CYC.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't remember now who played on that team. That's what I mean, see.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this: do you remember the coach?
The coach? Coach was see, I forgot. Fujimoto or something?
Okay.
He was young. I think that was a coach at that time. But like I said, my memory is really bad.
You're doing all right. You're doing quite all right there. All right. So you joined to get your children involved in Sabres. Was that the only thing that you and your family participated in at this community center?
Let's see. Yeah, more or less. I can't think of anything.
Did you send your children to Japanese school?
I had them all going at one time, but the boys, they rather play basketball and stuff like that. But my oldest daughter was there for a while.
Of course.
Yeah. She was the only one that really was serious about,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm sorry, okay, was she the oldest by any
Yeah.
chance? Yeah, of course, okay. There were, at that time, TAC, there were a lot of other social organizations here at the community center. Different clubs, there were women's clubs, there was a fishing club, all these. Were you or I didn't ask this, but okay, then further. Your wife's name is?
Beverly.
Were you or Bev ever involved in any of those other clubs? Like ballroom dancing or anything like that?
Well, right now,
Yeah.
well, they're going on this trip, Well, but they just started this, what do you call it? See. What do you call that, the balance thing?
Tai Chi.
Tai Chi, yeah, that's what they're doing now. That's what she's doing, I'm not doing it, but I'm afraid if I fall down. I go to the gym though, I go to 24-hour fitness. My insurance wrote me a letter saying that why don't you go to, they want to keep me fit, so. So I joined 24-hour fitness and I go about 2 or 3 times a week. Yeah. I don't work up a sweat or anything, but I spend about 45 minutes.
Okay, rough calculation. I mean, you've been involved with this community center for over 40 years.
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
You're in Heart Mountain, and there is a Heart Mountain Association. Are you a member of that?
Well, they have a group in Wyoming that's trying to keep this Heart Mountain legacy or whatever you want to call it going, and they're having a reunion, I think, sometime this year.
Right.
But I'm not going.
Okay. Did you go to any of them?
I used to, yeah. I've been to about 2 of them.
What?
But I'm talking about going there.
Yeah.
But they've had it, in Vegas a lot.
The last time you went to Vegas, what do you folks talk about? Do you actually talk about the camp experience, or?
Well, yeah, I guess. And then, mostly just eat and drink and BS, that's all. Yeah, the usual thing. I mean, I'm sure they talk about camp life too,
There are some members of our community center that were also at Heart Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
Do you?
Tosha Sano and them.
Yes. Yes, and Bacon Sakata.
Yeah, Bacon, yeah, that's Mr. Heart Mountain.
Yeah.
He's the one that always, gets the thing together.
So, Tack, as I said, you've been involved for 40 years, approximately 40 years at this center. You've known a lot of people. You put your children through basketball at least, and one child to Gakuen. How important has the East San Gabriel Valley Japanese Community Center been to you?
Well, I'm grateful that it was here, that I, got to send my kids here, participate in the sports and stuff like that.
And as far as your kids, I don't know whether, what you and Bev had decided in terms of how much of a Japanese cultural heritage you wanted your children to have. But if any, has this community center helped in any way with your children in terms of the passing down of even small elements of Japanese cultural heritage?
Well, I hope, they're getting something out of it,
So has it been important for you to have your children know about some of the customs and traditions and rituals of their Japanese ancestry?
Well, I really don't talk about it much at home or stress it or anything.
Okay. Yes. You don't talk about it.
Yeah, I figure if they should do it on their own,
Mhm.
you know, if they're really, you know. But all their friends are, you know, from the center.
Mhm.
All their friends are Japanese.
Mhm.
Well, and from school too, you know, they're Latinos and whatever.
But you, as Takashi Oki, what do you feel, I mean, having lived your entire, just about 40 years here and your previous experience and so forth, do you feel that the preservation of Japanese cultural heritage is important?
Definitely, yeah.
And what, you have 4 grandchildren. How old are they?
The oldest one is she just turned 21, and then she had kids just like I did right after another. So the youngest one is like, she had their 16th birthday,
Wow.
1621. That's the same as like.
Are-
Well, she was pretty old too, you know. She got married, so she had to have him right away.
And are any of your grandchildren involved at all with the Japanese institution or some kind of community center or anything like that?
In sports maybe, but other than that, not the community center, you know.
When you say sports, you mean something
Well,
similar to CYC?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So that's something that you've passed, I mean, it's been
Yeah,
3 generations, yeah. Oh, so, actually, Tack, you were with Sabres almost at the very beginning.
Pretty much, yeah.
When you
Yeah.
remember Bob Yamashita?
Oh yeah, he's the one that started this. Him and
Yeah.
Don Mita.
Right. So you've been there from the very beginning. So what is what do you think about where Japanese American basketball is today?
Well, if it wasn't for them, I don't think, you know, they really, you know, like Bob, he didn't even have a kid in. Well, he had one that's, you know, he was real young yet. He was, you know, I don't know if he was even born, but he's the one that really, you know, got it going. You know Paul Miyasato?
Yes.
You heard of Paul?
Yes.
Him and his wife is gone now,
Yeah,
but
right.
he took over after Bob started this program,
Right.
and he did a lot of, you know, he went to a lot of the meetings. I used to go with him, you know. Yeah.
Having seen what you've seen about the basketball program, do you think it has helped the Japanese American community?
Oh yeah.
And so from your experience, if you could describe, how has it helped from what you've seen?
Well, you know, keeps the kids busy for one thing, you know.
Yeah.
Takes, you know, maybe 1 day or 2 day practice plus, you know, the weekend, so.
And then, of course, the parents are always involved in
Oh
the
yeah.
background. And so, do you think...
You get to meet the parents, you know.
Yeah.
I made a lot of friends
Yeah.
through, you know, the basketball program.
And, right. And do you think that, you know, the parents meeting have formed a little community of their own, and you folks still keep in contact? And,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Made good friends through basketball. Yeah. You know, years ago, when they had the, you know, they have the president, then they have vice president, this and that. Well, years ago, the vice president was in charge of all the activities, you know,
Right,
right?
right.
Now they have, you know, every organization's got to do something, right? But years ago, I was vice president one year, and I remember you know, every program that came up, you were in charge. But now I think it's more or less divided, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the vice president have to do, you know, whatever.
You were the
I'm not
vice
too-
president of the East San Gabriel Valley Japanese
At one
Community.
time, yeah.
What, do you remember?
With Bob Yamashita. Bob was president, I was vice president at one time.
That is incredible. Thank you.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I was sharp then, but nowadays I just can't remember anything, you know? All these things, but I still remember Bob,
Yeah.
you know, I was,
How long were you on the board of directors?
well, I don't know, a couple of years maybe, that's about all, I think. They found somebody better, so. Maybe I wasn't doing enough.
And who was the president then when you were the vice president?
I think Bob was.
Oh, okay. They had 4 vice presidents back then, yes?
Jeez, I can't remember.
Yeah, okay.
I think if you look up at the minutes, you could find all those things. I'm sure they have it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I just can't remember.
So,
Gosh, terrible.
having been on the board, and you look at from the time that you were on to the time, you know, where the community center is at now, how would you assess where the community center was to where it's at now, and where would you like to see it go?
Well, I know Phil is, you know, really trying hard.
Now, that's Phil Komai,
Yeah.
current president.
He's got, you know, big ideas, you know. I hope, you know, he could follow up on it.
And do you have any thoughts about where you, as an individual who's been here for over 40 years, where you would like to see this community center go and be?
Well, I hope it, you know, keeps going instead of going down. Because 4 or 5 years from now, I'll be pushing up daisies anyway, so I really can't, you know, look forward too much.
But you would like it to be here for your grandchildren.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And so thinking of them, and how things have changed, not only in the community, but also in terms of where the Japanese American community is so spread out. Are there things that you would definitely like to see preserved for your grandchildren and their children? Some of the, maybe the most important things as you, Takashi Oki, see it from your life experience. What should be preserved and not lost at all?
Well, I hope this stays forever here, for one thing.
And what kind of things should we be keeping? For example, sports or Japanese school? Or
Well, yeah, Japanese schools, sports, yeah. Well, judo and all this, you know, all the activities, I think they're good for everybody.
A couple last questions, Tak, and I want to revisit something way in your past here. You had mentioned that your brothers were part of the No-No Boys. Looking back from today, what do you say positively, negatively, or no opinion at all about what the No-No Boys did and what they stood for?
Well, I backed them up. Even Inoue, I think, did you remember him saying that, you know, they had good reason to do what they did.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He didn't condemn them for it, you know. And the 442 boys, you know, they did what they did. That's why we're where we are now, you know. But like I said, Inoue, the senator, Inoue, whatever it was, he didn't condemn them for it. If I remember right, you know, he said that they had a good reason to do that.
And so, Tack, as you look back and all the questions and recollections from this interview, is there something that you would like to add or maybe answer a question that we didn't ask?
I think you covered everything. I didn't have the answer for everything, but I wish I could have remembered more, you know.
Well, here's something that you may not have to worry about remembering. If you have one message to say, whether it's to your grandchildren's generation or the generation after that, in terms of all you've experienced and everything that you've participated here at this East San Gabriel Valley Japanese Community Center, if you have a message for the future for Japanese Americans, what would that be?
Well, I just hope that they keep this thing going. I hope it doesn't fall apart like the K-roll thing. I mean, you know, I hope somebody don't buy this thing out.
I don't think I have very many follow. I guess after coming, living here for so long, did you ever go back to Japan, or has anyone in your family gone back to
Well,
Japan?
I've been back a couple of times on a tour, you know, but that was back in the 80s. That's the last time I've been there.
So your kids haven't. Do your kids?
Well, my kids, I had my older boy. He went to Japan to play with what do you call it? They go every year. The Yonsei group.
Yonsei.
Yeah, but they weren't Yonsei then. He was Sansei, but he went to Japan. And my daughter is a physical therapist, and she was with the Something in Action. You know the girls' sports program. They travel all over the place. What was
Vaguely, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, she was a physical therapist, and she went as a trainer.
Oh wow.
So she went, she traveled a lot. Not that she went to Japan, China, wherever. I think she even went to Russia, I think. Yeah, so,
Wow.
and then my third boy, I don't think he'd been to Japan. He doesn't say he want to go.
Did all your kids stay in California? Like, do they all live in?
Yeah, they're all here.
Oh, so they all live in the San Gabriel
Yeah,
Valley.
they're all here.
Well, I think, yeah, I don't have any more questions, but thanks for always coming in on Wednesdays and volunteering and coming in for another interview.
Well, I'm not doing anything anyway.
Okay. In closing, Takashi Oki, I want to thank you for
Well,
participating
You're welcome.
in our oral history project. I want to thank you for our current generation and the generations to come and the generations that you will not see for sharing a little bit of your life story, because it will be important. It is important today, and it will be important in the future. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yay.